Chief McFarland. I'm author of The Breakthrough Company in Bounce, and I'm here speaking to the Chicago Chamber.
This mid-market segment of the Chicagoland area really is our lifeblood. They don't get that type of recognition, and quite frankly, the attention from the community, but the Chamber of Commerce is focused on that.
Well, you know, if you're running a multi-billion-dollar company, there's lots of advice out there for you. You know, there are books like Good to Great and magazines like Fortune. And my work looks at everybody else. At some point in every company, someone says, well, you think our business is great, do you? You say, yeah, absolutely it is. Well, let me tell you about the mistake that almost put us out of business. Or let me tell you about the time that things really got tough and we almost didn't make it. And let me tell you what we learned in that experience. Turns out, great companies aren't built in the good times. Great companies are built in the I hope bad as they times. have as a takeaway that often businesses limit their potential based on their size. And the companies I studied grew from an average of 14 million to an average of 800 million in 15 years. And they were in everyday industries like nut and bolt distribution and commercial real estate. And one of the things we as leaders have to recognize is that when times get tough, people tend to have self-limiting thoughts. And they tend to be most pronounced. And one of your jobs when times get tough, and I talk about some of this in my second book, Bounce, is your main job as a leader is to absorb anxiety. Because when people become anxious, guess what? They don't see the forest for the trees, and the very skill they need, creative problem solving, tends to diminish.
Today is one of education to the mid-market companies, and that's why we have the McFarland here. The other thing is recognition of the mid-market companies, giving them the type of spotlight that we believe these mid-market companies need.
I've come to believe that there's a way for pretty much any company, if you catch it at the right time, to be a breakthrough company. All of us sit on opportunities that are far larger than we allow our minds the possibility to think of. And it's only when we organize ourselves around that belief, it's not what you make, it's what you make of it, that we really see the opportunity. The Chambers of Commerce across the country obviously play a really important role in linking business people together and getting them to resources, and they're made up of the very kinds of companies that I study, the growth companies that provide the jobs in our country.